So, wolf penises.
Yeah.
Shut up, System of a Down.
That was a good song.
That's probably the best on the album, honestly. At least the best of the radio singles. Even though the one everyone remembers is Chop Suey.
Well, I think Chop Suey has kind of got a second life because people like to react to it.
Wake up, wake up.
Wake up! No, 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 no.
Serge says like people like ambush him by going "wake up" to him like all the time, and it really annoys him.
I bet people go to his coffee shop and say that.
They're probably like, "Fuck off!"
I wonder if the not Slipknot Radiohead quote unquote Radiohead album "Look Outside Your Window" has any wolf penises in it.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I know Bob Dylan's albums have tons of wolf penises on them.
Great. I brought this upon myself.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
It's the Streisand effect.
I was trying to disarm the wolf penis effect, but
Well, you shouldn't have brought up wolf penises.
You should not have brought up wolf penises.
We have Sean on the podcast. If you tell him that you don't want to do something, then he's gonna.
that's 100% true.
Yes.
I'm going to bring it up first thing. So, what is it about wolf penises that you like, Andrew? Why are you so obsessed with it?
I'm actually here to talk about Bob Dylan albums today. Let's do a little bit of a pivot here.
I can get out the Werewolf the Apocalypse book that Dave gave me, and we can.
Today we're doing Highway 61. Dave did say earlier that it is his favorite Bob Dylan album.
I did, and it is.
We haven't started yet, though. This is all the fun stuff beforehand.
Oh.
So we can talk about we're free to talk about wolf penises all we want.
All right. Sean, what's your favorite type of wolf penis?
The ones that are erect.
I might have to leave here.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew, we'll start the episode.
Let's
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Welcome to Side 1, Side B. I'm Dave.
I'm Steve.
And I'm 7-inch Sean.
I'm Andrew.
Anywho,
We're here to talk about music.
we are here to talk. Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes. And
Mostly music.
Mostly music. And Sean, you brought one today.
I brought Bob Dylan, Highway 61. Steve, what do you know about Mr. Dylan?
So, I've heard a lot of Bob Dylan over the years, just because my dad was a fan. But I've never actually properly sat down and listened to a Bob Dylan album like on my own.
Are there any songs that you know by him?
Oddly enough, I know a lot of Bob Dylan songs because I own a album from the band Mountain called Masters of War, and it was all Bob Dylan covers.
Huh.
And I didn't know it was all Bob Dylan covers until like a while after I owned it. So yeah, I'm familiar with those versions of his songs. Familiar with various other cover versions of his songs.
You obviously know the Hendrix version of All Along the Watchtower.
Right,
yeah.
Which is funny, because a lot of people, even back in the 60s, knew covers of Bob Dylan songs, but didn't know actually Bob Dylan songs, because Bob Dylan didn't really get a lot of recognition for his actual song recordings.
Yeah.
And the studio would send out like his songs to get covered by other artists. So that's kind of funny that you know a lot of his songs for covers and not the actual recordings.
A lot of artists that I follow have covered him, so yeah. My dad was a fan, so I would have heard it in passing just from him listening to it. And of course, probably been on the radio a number of times, enough that I've heard in passing. But like I said, never listened to an actual album of his.
You've probably heard a song or two of his done by him. You just probably haven't sought it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun story. Deep lore. One time, Andrew and I joked about starting a project where it would be covering Stooges and Iggy Pop songs as Bob Dylan. So I would be like, out of my mind on a Saturday night, 1970, blowing in sight, harmonica solo.
And the name of the band?
Bob Pop.
Oh yeah, also
I'm worth $1 million in prizes. Got a lust for life.
also very familiar with his contributions to the Traveling Wilburys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was interesting. He came up out of like the folk music scene.
Yeah.
I worked a lot with, like Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, all of them. And I read a pretty interesting book called Folk Singers in the Bureau, which was talking about how a lot of people from that scene weren't mad at him for going electric. They were mad at him for not doing protest music anymore and appealing more to a popular audience rather than a message audience.
Some like Seeger, like the whole was it 64 or whatever the folk festival, or 65, whatever the famous one.
Yeah,
where he went electric, the Newport Folk Festival.
Yeah. Judas.
That was actually. Everyone says it was the Royal Albert Hall that was said, but it was actually Newcastle or something like that.
Newport.
Newcastle.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Where someone yelled Judas at him, and he says, "I don't believe you. You're a liar." And he says, "Play it fucking loud." Anyways, Pete Seeger supposedly was gonna get an axe and cut his wires and stuff, but he wasn't the first person to play electric guitars out there, because they had Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash had electric guitars there.
Yeah,
it was just that he was playing I guess his volume was so loud that it was too distorted and they couldn't understand what he was saying and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah. But this time this wasn't the first one where he went electric, but it's part of the trilogy of albums where he went electric.
Yeah.
And
bringing it all back home, he had started because he had Maggie's Farm and some other stuff that was electric, and Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, Highway 61, is my personal favorite album of his.
All right. Let's pivot to that. Talk about favorites for a little bit.
Okay.
Well, actually, John.
My favorite. I think of his folk stuff. My favorite of his folk stuff is actually Times They Are Changing, because that's him at his kind of angriest.
Yeah.
And he sounds angry on that album, so I listen to that one a lot. And then I think of his. I do like Bringing It All Back Home a lot, but I think probably Blonde on Blonde I love a lot because of kind of the raw nature of it. It feels, because he recorded that album within a couple of weeks, and he did it almost in between tours. That's why his voice sounds so rough in it.
Yeah. And that's a long album too. That's a double album.
Yeah, and that's why he sounds he sounds so different from this album and that album, because he's because you always make fun of the that's why you can barely sing on Blonde is because he's because his voice was blown for that session, for the Blonde on Blonde sessions, and so I like the raw nature of it. So, but yeah, but then but really, if you gun to head, I'd actually say Blood on Tracks is probably my favorite. Blood on the Tracks is probably my favorite Dylan album.
It was a different day when I was hanging out with Dave, but we went to the local record store, and I'm looking through Bob Dylan albums, and I came across Split on the Tracks, and I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good one. And Dave's like, oh, no, that's a very good one.
Yeah.
And I picked that one up, and it that one for me is more like a... I don't want to listen to that one every day. It's not a breakup album. It's a heartbreak album.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of thing like, oh, hey, it's 5 a.m. and I've been drinking whiskey, and now it's time to put on Blood on the Tracks. And no, that does not happen every day, thankfully. But
Yeah.
In terms of things that I like to listen to by Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde, I'm a little hesitant on it sometimes. That was the first Dylan album I got. I was in high school. I bought like a Dylan album with my mom on a CD. That was Blonde on Blonde, and I'm like, I just don't get it. And I'm not sure I quite do. In terms of Dylan albums that I get, Bringing It All Back Home is probably the most fun to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
I always enjoy that one, start to finish. In terms of favorite to listen to, it might be Desire. Although,
yeah, that's a really good one.
I don't like hearing Bob Dylan sing the N-word. I don't think that's
Yeah.
a hot take. That makes me very uncomfortable these days. But start to finish, Highway 61, best.
Yeah.
Steve, what's your favorite Bob Dylan cover?
Well, I brought up the Mountain album that I bought, and he did a cover of Masters of War with Ozzy Osbourne on that one, which was really fucking good.
Nice.
So probably that one.
Which is actually a really great song. That's probably my favorite song off the Freewheeling Bob Dylan. Which is his second album.
Didn't you bring up that you bought like a copy of it without that song? Or?
Yeah, they did a Record Store Day version of it. Well, I have a copy with it on there, but they did a version of the Record Store Day did a version that was like the original release, which didn't have it on there.
Yeah.
But it had like 4 songs that weren't. It was a whole thing where they wanted him to take off this one song called Talking Tom Paranoid Blues, and it was at the time was like very controversial song, so they wanted him to take it off, and he ended up taking 4 songs off that album, and he put Masters of War on it instead, which is like really like worse, I think, than the Talking Tom Birch Paranoid Blues. If you listen to the songs side by side, you'd be like, actually, I think Masters of War sounds like worse, but I don't know. But I like I like Masters of War better, so it was kind of like, damn, if they would have kept Masters of War on there, it would have been like because that one sounded better because it's a mono copy compared to the stereo copy that's.
So were they just
widely
trying
available.
to bring it back to the original vision, it sounds like?
Well, it was just kind of like a release they were doing to, like, taking it back to what the original version was, because they were also in different order. The songs were in a different order as well.
It's weird to think that they were afraid of offending the John Birch Society, but the John Birch Society did end up winning in the end. So
And they're gone. Aren't they gone?
they are gone, but
Their spirit lives
their
on.
spirit lives on in our current age.
Yeah, they're an anti-communist party or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are red stripes in the American flag. I don't know.
Yeah. Rich
Betsy Ross did it.
Did you hear about Betsy Ross?
Friend of the pod, John Schaefer, his dad was a quote-unquote John Birch guy, so that's why he's all fucked up.
Yeah. The song is actually pretty funny, but like when you heard it like a couple of times, it's kind of like, that's fine. I'm good.
Well, Master of War is fucking cool.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time you hear it, it's fucking cool. So
And it, like, sometimes when you get too specific with your reference, you date your song, and Masters of War has a timelessness to it as a result.
Yeah. So,
Honestly, I could probably listen to Talkin' John Birch Paranoid Blues all day, but it's like 1 or 2 chords at most.
yeah. Thought I'd
That's me,
join the John Birch Society. Yeah.
All right.
And then there was another song that I was like, why did he cut this song? This song's awesome. It was called Rocks and Gravel. It was really good. Anyways, sorry.
No worries. All right, so today we're taking a look at Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited. And I am holding this Sean's copy, right?
Yes, that's my copy.
Yeah. Looks like this is probably a newer pressing, looks like.
Oh, yeah. It's the current one that's available.
Just so you know, it's featuring like a Rolling Stone.
Yep.
So
It's got the shrink in the hype sticker.
Yep.
Like, I think it's like a copy of what the original original hype sticker looked like, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that is Like a Rolling Stone is the biggest hit off the album.
The cover is basically a picture of Bob Dylan. He's wearing like a very festive shirt with some cool like blue and pink patterns. I think those are like flowers. I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure. Behind him is looks like somebody holding a camera in a striped orange shirt. It's like orange and white.
Bob Dylan has a lot of intensity in his face.
Fun fact, I don't know if this is true, but I heard it somewhere and it sounds true. But Bob Dylan was the first person to give the Beatles weed because he thought they already smoked it. And they didn't yet. They did afterwards.
I was told it changed rock and roll forever.
I heard that's true, too.
He's holding something. I can't tell what he's holding there, though.
Is
Is it a marijuana cigarette?
It's his sunglasses.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So
I'm guessing he kind of looks like, just take the fucking picture. Like, come on.
he probably was.
I mean, he was definitely probably sick of photo sessions by this point, too.
So another funny. I remember watching No Direction Home, the Scorsese documentary, and he was sitting there doing like a press conference. And there's this dude, really like fucking intense, like this reporter or something. And he's like, so what did you mean by that picture with when you had a motorcycle shirt on there? Because his shirt has a motorcycle on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, man. I was just taking a picture. And he's like, I didn't really think about it. And the guy's like, well, I thought about it. I thought about it a lot. And Bob Dylan's just like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's just sitting outside of his apartment, and that person behind him is his friend Bob Newworth.
Yeah, he just like was wearing a shirt. Like, Bob Dylan liked motorcycles.
Photographer Kramer commented in 2010 on the singer's expression, he's hostile, or it's hostile moodiness. He's almost challenging me or you or whoever's looking at it. What you gonna do about it, Buster?
He just looks annoyed to me. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like, all right, man, let's get this shit done with.
One thing about Bob Dylan that I've heard from documentaries and things like that is he was a little bit hostile. He did kind of like fucking with people, especially with music, playing songs differently from time to time. Sean, but I think about you sometimes with that. Just saying.
Yeah.
When I was doing research for the Tom Petty and the Mudcrutch episodes, I read Mike Campbell's. Well, I listened to it because I listened to the audiobook. I listened to Mike Campbell's autobiography, and they talked about how they toured with Dylan and how, like, they didn't have a set list. Like, they didn't know what they were playing until they were on stage, basically. And and a lot of times he'd just be like, all right, guys, I want to change the key on this one.
Yep.
And they would just have to adapt to it.
There was
or play it twice as fast.
There's a great moment, though, you can see, like, of Bob Dylan on Letterman in the 80s. This was at the time when he was just ending his Jesus-y phase. He was doing the song Joker Man on Letterman. and his backing band was hardcore punk band, like an actual hardcore punk band, The Plugs.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like going nuts on stage, and like he was a dynamic, energetic front man when he wanted to be hostile, and then when he doesn't want to be hostile, he can be a little boring on stage. So I like Angry Dylan better than I like.
Yes.
I've seen him a couple of times live, and so the first time I saw him, he didn't even touch a guitar. He just played the organ the whole time. He was just sitting there behind the organ the whole time playing. And then the second time I saw him, he played guitar for like 5 songs and then played the organ the rest of the time. So it was like he kind of, it's like whatever mood he's in is what he does.
Yeah.
I
Which I find very admirable.
saw him here at an arena, and about the most interesting thing about the show was his hat.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah. A lot of people who have been to shows of his like that well, I'm glad I got a chance to see him, but I wish I could have seen him in the 70s.
That was kind of my reaction when I saw B.B. King. Like, his backing band was holding him together. Buddy Guy opened up, though, and he was amazing. So
Yeah.
Turning around the album and looking at the back here, there's 3 black and white photos of Dylan. One where he's at a piano, one where he's holding a Stratocaster guitar, and then one where he's holding looks like a notebook of some kind. There's a very long write-up by Bob Dylan.
They used to do that on the back of albums where they, like, older, like, for some reason they used to do, like, a lot of write-ups.
Yeah. Should I give it a shot here?
No, you
okay.
don't have to. That's a long essay.
It is pretty long.
The one for Times They Are Changing is like 3 pages long. Like it's like insert because it's like page 1 of 2, 1 of 3, 1 of 4. But yeah, I don't know. They used to do that on jazz albums too.
Yeah, it looks like a story of some kind.
Yeah.
Occasionally you run into an artist that still does like the essay on the back of the album or in the CD liner notes. Like I think Moby was doing that into the odds. But
we should do that, Dave. You should write up an essay for our first album.
The one I really remember is on the back of Desire. It starts off with "On the Heels of Rimbaud," and it's Rimbaud was a French poet who moved to Africa to become an arms dealer.
Yeah,
and we got to chase him, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think if I do write an essay on our album, it will give people a part of our stage show that they'll miss on an album, which is when I just rant between songs for a long time.
When we say perfectly, what's the word I'm looking for? Perfectly unproblematic things.
Yeah. Where we say things that will not get us in trouble at work.
Yes.
Does anybody else like work? I think it's great.
I actually do like my job, but yeah.
Maybe let's listen to some music.
Yeah.
Are we ready for that?
We still got a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the album was produced by Bob Johnston. The lineup is Bob Dylan on guitar, harmonica, piano, and police car.
Who gave this man a police car?
Is it a hand-painted police car?
Nice.
Michael Bloomfield on guitar, Alan Cooper on organ and piano, Paul Griffin on piano and organ, so they swapped around there.
Yep.
It's Alan Cooper specifically organ and piano, and Paul Griffin's piano and organ. Like, you can't conflate the two.
Nope.
Bobby Gregg on drums, Harvey Goldstein on bass, Charlie McCoy on guitar, Frank Owens on piano. A lot of piano on this album.
Yeah.
And Russ Savickas. Savickas? We'll go with Savickas.
Sure. Yes.
It also says other albums by Bob Dylan you will enjoy, Bringing It Back Home, Another Side of Bob Dylan, and The Times Are Changing. So you got some recommendations here from the record company.
Yeah. I do wish that all of the backing musicians were all on all of the songs together. You know, that this was a two bass, 3 keyboards album, but it's not. Like, it's some are on some songs, some are on others. Yeah.
You know, that's enough members to match with friend of the pod, Slipknot.
Yeah. Why didn't Bob Dylan ever make a ska album? He should have made a ska album.
Why didn't Bob Dylan ever make a new metal album?
Sean, we could always make Bob ska.
Yeah, we could. Let's do it. Bob Ska.
Bob Ska. The times they are a changing. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
All right, side 1, we got Like a Rolling Stone. And this one says it was specifically produced by Tom Wilson, so that must just be different than the rest of the album.
Yeah, because Tom Wilson probably... I think Like a Rolling Stone was a single before it got onto the album.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Wilson was his producer for all of his albums before this album.
If there's any song on this album that you've heard the original organically in the wild before, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that the same guy that played Biff in Back to the Future?
Yes.
Same name.
Yes. It's the same. No, it's just the same guy. He's a lot like Biff from Back to the Future. Is a lot older than he looked.
Buttheads. I hate manure. Next one is Tombstone Blues. It takes a lot to laugh. It takes a train to cry.
That's another one you could have heard in the wild.
From a Buick 6 and Ballad of a Thin Man. So, I think that's all we got to say. Let's throw this on.
I think
Start
you'll
the
enjoy
shit.
it. Come on, mama.
And we are back.
Oh, I didn't mean to come on you, Pete, I swear. Oh, what?
Alrighty then.
All right.
Welcome back to the land of the living, Andrew. Andrew was riveted.
I probably fell asleep. I've been tired.
It's all good.
No, it's all good.
You do have more of a home life than all of us.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I wasn't specific.
I need privacy.
Privacy. I was privacy to your
That's what my kid
privacy.
says whenever he shuts the bathroom door at 2 years old. So anyway,
Well,
let's go
good
from there.
boundary to develop early.
Yeah.
What did you think of the side of music as a whole, Steve, having heard it for the first time?
So I think musically, I think it's really good. There were a lot of moments that I really liked, particularly the interplay between the organ and the piano on a lot of the songs. The organist, I think, on this is fantastic.
I like treating those as 2 different instruments rather than just like, fuck, there's one keyboard player, you can play either instrument. Yeah.
There's a lot of things we could start with this side. Steve, talk to us about the mixing.
So the mixing, on a lot of the songs anyway, I wasn't quite keen on. It seemed a little blown out, like there was a lot of things going on, and it was kind of hard to pick what was going on. I asked Sean if this was the stereo or the mono version, and it's the stereo version, so I wonder if I would like the mono version more.
I think that's intentional.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard the mono versions are. Some people say like the mono version is the way to go with Dylan's albums.
Yeah.
Because they I don't know, like 5 years ago did a big re-release of all his early albums in mono. So I don't know.
I remember us having, I don't know if it was on the podcast, I think we were just talking about it in person, but we were talking about how like on the Beatles recordings, they didn't put a lot of effort into the stereo recordings because they thought it was a fad. And I just wonder if it was kind of the same thing.
I liked how maximalist it was. Maximalist, but kind of lo-fi. It felt very intense and overwhelming. And like Andrew said, I think that was intentional.
I thought it sounded really good.
Yeah.
Actually.
I think a lot of what they try and do, like on a Rolling Stone with the organ part and Bob Dylan's voice, those are the 2 things you think about. And the rest is just kind of band in general. Like, it's rhythm. And it just kind of sinks into the background for me. And I think it makes you think about the a little bit obnoxious organ sound and also the little bit obnoxious Bob Dylan voice. But
let's circle around to his voice, because over the years, like a lot of times I hear people make fun of his voice. After hearing this side of music, I feel like it's a little overstated. Like
a little bit. It's fun to joke about, but I think he is a good singer.
Good singer. I mean,
well, good for the songs he writes. Yeah. Not technically good, but
yeah, no, there wasn't anything that was making me cringe or anything. It was technically not perfect, but fit the music just fine, I thought.
Yeah, it is kind of one of those things where people kind of overstate how bad his singing is. If he was really that bad, no one would listen to him. Right. You know what I mean?
And it's fun to do the impression.
Yeah.
At the same time, nobody sounds like Bob Dylan singing Bob Dylan on Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
It sticks in your mind. That's all I mean. It stands out. Anyway, somebody else.
And he fucking wrote the songs, too. He wrote the songs to be sung like that.
Yeah. And Bob Dylan was a bit of a chameleon, too. Because, like, if you listen to some of his earlier stuff, he doesn't sound the same as he does later on.
Yeah.
So, like, when he was doing a little bit more folky stuff, he sounds different than when he does in his later stuff. Because here he's sounding more like he's trying to be more pop vocal than he does in his earlier stuff where he's trying to be more folk vocal. Like, he's trying to, in, like, his earlier stuff, he's trying to be more Woody Guthrie and stuff like that. So he's got he tries to do a little bit of raspier, deeper voice. And then when he moves on, he's doing a little bit more of a relaxed voice. Yeah. And then he moves into a more nasally voice, which is what people make fun of him more, like when they do the, how does it feel? You know, that's the nasally voice that he moves into. But he didn't sound like that. He's more at the back of his throat when he's like, how does it feel? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not really, nasally. So
I remember in college when he put out his Christmas album and people were like, why is he doing this? This doesn't sound like Christmas at all. And it's like, I think he knows what he's doing, you know?
I mean, nowadays, he sounds kind of like an old blues artist, like, because his voice is like old. Oh, he's 80.
He's 80, and he's kind of blowing out his voice too. His voice sounds really different now.
Right.
Yeah.
So but the recording of Like a Rolling Stone, it was intentionally the way it is. Like, if you listen to like the organ actually is like half a beat late. So it's like dun, 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 like Al Cooper, the organist on that, he actually doesn't really know how to play organ, and he just wanted to be on a Bob Dylan album. Like, he loved Bob Dylan, and he like was invited by Tom Wilson to come down, and he was a guitar player, and Tom Wilson, so he was in there and he saw Mike Bloomfield playing, and like he's like, oh fuck, I'm out of my depth here, right? And so he put his guitar away, and but he was like, I gotta be on this record. So he goes and sits down at the organ, right?
Yeah.
And he's just playing the chords, and like Tom Wilson's like, what the hell are you doing, man? You're a guitar player. You ain't an organ player. And so he's coming in late because he didn't know the chords on the organ. So he's like, but then Bob Dylan heard it, and he liked that he was coming in late. And so that's how it got there. And that's what the recording was. That's why it sounds kind of weird and disjointed a bit.
And then that's the feature of that song, along with Bob Dylan's voice. And then you've got the rhythm section, which it's just background for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you hear the treble and you hear the bass mostly, and then the treble is Bob Dylan and the organ. That's
And it was also Bob Dylan. He just sounds like really angry, like, at whoever he's talking to, like whoever he's talking to, he's like really angry at. That's kind of the interpretation I don't know who he's.
Mr. Smithers, have the Rolling Stones killed.
Well, and it's also kind of a fast song, but the organ dragging behind it kind of gives like a slow shuffle behind it too.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like it's a fast song that feels slower in a way. And I like how like the intensity picks up in the chorus too.
Yeah.
I am familiar with this song. Like, it triggered my recognition senses, but I think I'm more familiar with the Hendrix version. Because it wasn't quite like what I remember, unless I heard like a live version or something.
I don't think you heard the Hendrix version, because there isn't a Hendrix version.
I looked it up. There's a Hendrix version.
Is there a Hendrix version?
Yeah, Hendrix did a few Dylan covers. Just all along the Watchtower is the most famous one.
I never heard the Hendrix
Bob
version.
Dylan played that one?
Unless
That
it
was a joke.
Unless it was on
Yeah.
that Mountain album
Yeah.
that I was talking
No,
about.
I think Hendrix did a few. Like, I think Hendrix only did it
Oh,
live. I don't think it's not on any Hendrix albums.
Oh, he did it live.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, yes. That's right. I did hear that. That's right. Okay.
Got John Schaefer on the screen.
Friend of the pod, John Schaefer.
But yeah, like
He played it at
Yeah.
Monterey.
I think this is such a great choice for a single too. Like, and yeah, it's also a single because it came from a slightly different session, but it is like a really strong like album opener, like mission statement for what the album's going to be. It stands like fidelity wise. It sounds like it's like mixed differently. It really stands apart from the rest of the record, and it's a great song.
Yeah. But like I said, because Tom Wilson was his producer, I don't remember. I think he had a break with Tom Wilson for the rest of the album for some reason, and I don't know why.
He got into lots of fights with people over the years. Don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
And also, if you do think the harmonica sounds like random blowing, it kind of was, because he had one of those things on his metal things on his neck that held it and was playing guitar while playing it. So he would just get one that was in the key of the song and kind of blow into it.
I remember one of the Bob Dylan documentaries that talks about, he's touring the UK and, they're expecting the Beatles or something, and he has that dreadful harmonica. And the organ, honestly, it reminds me a little bit of that here, too. Yeah. It's just a little bit dreadful. It's not bad. It's iconic, but it's
a little jarring. It's not doing exactly what the rest of the band is doing.
It's not supposed to sound idyllic, I guess.
Is it on that compilation?
It's on the it's on that Mountain cover album, so that's probably where I'm most familiar with it.
Okay.
Because the Hendrix version is on like a live album that they put out in like 2007.
Yeah,
it's possible I've heard that, but probably not.
I'm not sure if I think I remember watching like a Hendrix movie that they made that was kind of dreadful.
Yeah.
That where like supposedly Paul McCartney was mad that he did Sgt. Pepper's like in 3 days, and Paul McCartney wasn't mad about that. Actually, he was like, "Oh, that's awesome." But the movie made it like Paul McCartney was pissed that he did that.
Movies need conflict.
That's I guess.
Yeah. I've also read that Rolling Stone. This is a reference to a popular magazine at the time.
What?
Related to rock and roll.
I thought it was more like a Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
But I do actually have I think the only Jimi Hendrix album I have is Live at Monterey, and I would bring that sometime.
That's
it
a
is
great album.
Yes.
Going back to Paul McCartney for a second, I know, Dave, you were a little disappointed with the new Spinal Tap movie, but I do think one of the best parts of that movie is when Paul McCartney came and gave some suggestions to them, and David St. Hubbins got all like petty about it.
Yeah.
Like that was probably one of the better jokes in that movie.
Okay, I gotta see that because that would be funny.
Yeah. One thing I did like about all this too is just how he was spitting out the lyrics, and they used that take because you can really hear the P's. The P's.
Yeah, it's funny. I couldn't in like when I had the CD. I know this is format whatever. I could never hear that, but like when I got the vinyl, I could actually hear like that more. The like when he's like peas and like like the more push of the air from him, and he sounds angrier on this mix or something. I don't know.
Yeah. There are a ton of lyrics crammed into this. You're not going to catch them all, especially on a first listen. But to me, the standout was you stare into the vacuum of his eyes as he says, "Do you want to make a deal?"
Do you want?
Then going right into the chorus. Yeah. Which rhymes with that. So yeah.
I saw when I was looking up covers of this song that the Rolling Stones covered it.
Of course they did.
Like, you corny motherfuckers. Stealing,
like, other people's glory. But,
Go
ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Andrew.
No, just a side note that I've been listening to a little bit of the Rolling Stones this week and really been enjoying that. And then somebody reminded me that Steven Tyler is not a great person. Steven
Tyler's Aerosmith, though.
Oh, shit.
Mick Jagger isn't a great person, though. He's in the Epstein files.
Maybe that's what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Now you can enjoy the Rolling Stones some more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just stick to that.
Yeah.
So, me and my sticky fingers. So.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing that's interesting about this, too, is, like, yeah, Seeger and Guthrie were mad at him for getting less political. This song, like, lyrically, it's still pretty political. It's not as, like, sloganeering as, like, a lot of the Join a Union folk songs that were before this, but it's really hard to miss the politics.
Well,
yeah.
See, I think he also, it wasn't that he was less political, he was less, like, overtly political.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like he was using like a lot more metaphors and a lot more imagery to convey it rather than a straightforward message.
And I think that's what they were more mad about, is that he wasn't, because he would like, he had like on Times They Are Changing, he had a song about Medgar Evers, and he literally says Medgar Evers was shot and killed on, and so like he doesn't have songs where he's literally calling out names of civil rights leaders that were killed. So
the book I was talking about earlier, like the author was able to get a hold of like all these folk singers, including Dylan's FBI files through FOIA, and so that's what made that book really interesting. But yeah. Guthrie was in there the most, I would think, out of all of them. But
oh, really?
Obviously. Yeah, but yeah.
I wonder if they still maintain a file on him.
They probably do. They probably don't care as much now. But yeah.
Yeah, he's 84 now, so whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Woody Guthrie, I wrote you a song.
Yeah. But yeah, like a Rolling Stone. It's iconic for a reason. It's like my third favorite on the side, but it's still a great song. Like it's middle of the road for favorite songs on the side, but it's great. It's like iconic for a reason.
And
it's iconic. It was probably my least favorite on this side.
Really? Yeah. Huh.
And on to what's probably Dave's first favorite on this side.
Tombstone Blues.
I did like it, but it is not my first favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably my fourth favorite.
Oh boy.
But yeah. Yeah, it's a good fast song. I loved the crash on the drums. I loved how much the lead guitar added to the chaos.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a rougher mix than like a Rolling Stone, but it was really cool. Like, the intensity of the lead guitar playing reminded me a lot of European Sun by the Velvets, but that was a later album.
I thought this one, I liked the production on this one more. I liked the freight train style drumming. It had like a lot of instruments and layers, but like was still like a driving blues song, which I feel like is really hard to do. So kudos on that. The guitar leads, I think, were particularly noteworthy. He was going pretty crazy at some certain moments.
Oh, Bloomfield was amazing.
Yeah. It just has a really cool jammy nature with the organ and piano like riffing off each other, like kind of intertwining with each other as the song goes on.
Yeah, treating them like two different instruments rather than just the keyboards.
Right.
Yeah, Tombstone Blues is a good song. It's not my favorite song on this side though. But I do love the solo the lead guitar on this. Bloomfield really shines on this one.
Yeah, he does.
It almost you'll have to look it up, but if you ever have a chance, Steve, look up Mike Bloomfield's Telecaster. If you look it up now, it's almost like makes you cry at what they did to it. Because some guy got Mike Bloomfield's Telecaster, and he was left-handed, and he chopped it.
Oh, it turned it into the double cut there?
Yeah. It almost makes you fucking cry.
It looks like a Dan Electra Longhorn.
I know. It's like... Yeah, anyways.
I think you should get a custom telly that looks like that, Sean.
No.
Sean, bring your telly in. We'll do a custom job to it.
It's like a telly and an SG fucked.
Yeah.
Like man caves are for caveman, caveman, which was the sound of a SG and a telly fucking.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty sad seeing it like that.
I keep seeing one on Reverb where they carved like a 52 Telecaster. I don't know if I got the year right, but it was from the 50s into like this teardrop shaped monstrosity, and they want like 5 figures for it. I'm like, you're insane. It doesn't look like a Telecaster anymore.
Yeah,
It looks like a Wish.com Telecaster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, why did you do that? I know why that person did it. Why
because they were left-handed.
Because they were left-handed, but it's like, it's still like, that was an iconic guitar. Because Mike Bloomfield was a iconic Telecaster player from the '60s. Like, he played on Paul Butterfield Blues Breaker Band or Blues Man, and so. But anyways, all right. It takes a lot to laugh and a train to cry.
This was like, it's a good song. It's my least favorite on the side.
Yeah.
The title is clunky as fuck.
I
It doesn't
love
reflect
this
on the
song.
song itself, but like the title is incredibly clunky.
I love this song.
Isn't the song a little bit clunky?
A little bit, yeah. Like this is like all these songs fade out. This is the only one where it feels like the fade out was because they didn't know where to end it.
Actually,
The
this
song feels like it plods, and that's not a bad thing, but it's just like... Dun, 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 dun.
I really like this song because it sounds like something you might hear like in an old saloon.
Yeah.
Like the slow bluesy waltz of it, the old timey piano.
I like the build and release. It didn't really have a chorus, but a build and release of where the chorus would be, and then before going back into the verse. But yeah,
I thought production wise, I thought this was the best one.
Yeah.
If you want to hear something of Bob Dylan's that sounds like you're walking into an old saloon, you want to switch to the second side of Blood on the Tracks. Just saying.
Yeah.
I actually, this song, if you get like one of the bootleg albums, I don't remember which one, they have like 3 different versions of this song because he couldn't quite get it down, like what he wanted to do. So there's like a fast version of this song. Then there's like a medium tempo, and then the final one's this version. So it actually went through a couple of different versions. So it's kind of interesting. I love this song. I think it's a great song.
I mean, to me, it's a no skip album.
Yeah.
So it's my least favorite
Yeah.
song on the first side of a no skip album.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be last.
Yep.
You know, you're putting your beers in front of Yelston there, Andrew. You're really gonna. He's gonna start ordering pizza in his underwear in front of my house, and we don't need Yelston running around outside
Fuck
naked.
Yelston.
Yeah, he's like,
I thought he was more of a KFC guy, honestly.
yeah,
With a chicken bucket in between on his Johnson.
yeah.
On his Lyndon B. Johnston. All right. From a Buick 6.
I wasn't seriously asking you to move those. Though.
From a Buick 6, this was my second favorite on the side. Like, really fast, intense song. the drum fills were amazing. I liked how much feedback was on the lead guitar.
Hey, guess what? This is my least favorite on this side.
Sucks to suck.
I don't know. From a Buick 6 has always been kind of my least favorite on the album, actually.
It's forgettable.
I like the old school rock and roll vibe to it, but compared to the others, it is kind of generic, I think.
Yeah. It's probably my least favorite on the album.
Really cool organ playing on it, though.
Yeah.
I like listening to it, but it's not like...
Yeah, I wouldn't skip it.
No.
It's not like I'd say, oh yeah, Highway 66, Buick 6, that's the best one. No, I would not.
And then I would probably like a Rolling Stone more, but it's a little overplayed.
Yeah.
So like at this point, it edges it out for me.
I've heard I've heard of like a Rolling Stone like so many times. But the next song is my favorite song on this side.
My favorite on this side too.
Same.
I liked
Ballad of a Thin Man.
I liked how the really intense theatric piano on it.
Yeah, it was really epic sounding. I thought it was really cool.
Ballad of a Thin Man is just a fantastic fucking song.
And I liked the little vocal inflections he did like right before he got into the Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
I was reading a bit about
Mr. Jones.
the inspiration for this song, and it sounds like it was just some guy that he knew in real life that annoyed him.
Yeah, but it sounded really menacing.
Yeah. So it's like
It's probably like one of the darkest songs I've ever heard because it's so, like you said, menacing sounding, and like it, like you walk into a room and you don't understand, and there's somebody naked and you don't know it. Do you, Mr. Jones?
Well, and I liked like the bass guitar with like the piano player's left hand, like the low end there with like the like kind of bluesy shuffle bass piano with the bass guitar on it too.
This is one that Dylan plays piano on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is the one that Dylan plays piano on. So yeah, Dylan's doing that. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, he's like slamming on it too.
Yeah.
when I was reading about it on Wikipedia while we were listening to it, it sounds like Dylan like told his entourage of people that you all know who Mr. Jones is. That's not his name, but you all know who he is.
I bet they all thought it was a different person.
Is it me?
Yeah.
No, it's not you.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was a member of his entourage, and I think they all knew that. I just thought that they all thought it might be a different person he was fighting with at the time.
It's a Ballad of the Slender Man, if you will.
Yeah.
Says in August of 1965, soon after recording the song, when questioned by Nora Ephron and Susan Edmondson about the identity of Mr. Jones, Dylan was deadpan. He's a real person. You know him, but not by that name. I saw him come into the room one night, and he looked like a camel. He proceeded to put his eyes in his pockets. I asked the guy who he was, and he said, "That's Mr. Jones." Then I asked this cat, "Doesn't he do anything but put his eyes in his pocket?" And he told me he puts his nose on the ground. It's all there. It's a true story. At a press conference in San Francisco in December 1965, Dylan supplied more information about Mr. Jones, though he claimed he could not reveal Mr. Jones' first name because he would be sued. He's a pin boy. He also wears suspenders.
Everyone wore suspenders in the early 60s.
So Dave's old band, Gong Farmer, has a song called Slick Denny, which was written by their guitar player. And it was kind of a petty song. So I think this is their version.
Yeah.
That was Dinger's version of...
Nora Ephron had a fucking hell of a career, though. like a rock journalist in the 60s into being like a director of romantic comedies in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, she lived her best life, honestly.
Oh, there's more. In March 1986, Dylan told his audience in Japan, "This is a song I wrote a while back in response to people who ask me questions all the time."
Fuck you, yeah.
You just get tired of that every once in a while. You don't want to answer no more questions. I figure a person's life speaks for itself, right? So every once in a while, you've got to deal with this kind of thing. You've got to put somebody in their place. So this is my response to something that happened over in England. I think it was about 63 or 64. Anyway, the song still holds up. seems to be people around still like that, so I still sing it. So it sounds like it was a journalist.
Yeah.
Or maybe some kind of like, I don't know, you said he's on an FBI list. Maybe he's an FBI guy. I don't know.
Well, I mean...
Fun fact
Oh,
about this, too.
Oh, it does say there's speculation on whether it was based on a specific journalist. So.
Fun fact, too, the Beatles referenced this song in Your Blues off the White Album, where he says, just like Dylan's Mr. Jones in one of the lyrics.
Yeah. Andrew, what did you have to say?
I mean, it sounds like Bob Dylan doesn't like being asked questions by journalists. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think he does.
No,
it's
probably
more about the
not.
music. No, I still think about Kate Blanchett's portrayal of Bob Dylan being asked questions by journalists. And anyway,
That was a good movie, yeah. How many
Stop booing.
Yeah. Kate Blanchett was really good at playing Bob Dylan.
I was saying Boo Earns.
honestly, I always think about her in The Life Aquatic.
She was good in that, too.
She was good in that, too, although I will always think of her as not a Dark Lord, but a queen. Beautiful and terrible as the dawn. And then also think of her in Hot Ones. She was good at eating hot wings and talking about her roles. That was around the time of Tar. Also a good movie. Kate Blanchett, one of the best actresses out there.
Yeah.
Fight me.
No one's going to fight me on that. Everyone's going to agree on that.
I think Conan had the best Hot Ones appearance, though.
Oh, he did. He was definitely trying to show off. He was definitely that kid in like middle school who you could dare to do anything.
Conan, I know you're listening. You're invited on the podcast, so get in touch with us.
He does
Conan,
need friends.
he does need friends. We love you, Conan.
He needs friends. We will review a White Stripes album with you.
You could bring Slash with you if that's possible. It was the band had a lot of fun watching you and Slash buy guitars.
Yeah.
We will make fun of Slash for you, too.
Yeah. Or we could do an Ozzy Osbourne with you because you had him on the show. Or we could do a They Might Be Giants album with you since those guys are your friends. Whatever.
You could even play guitar with us because you're pretty good at guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a Bruce Springsteen album so you can tell Max Weinberg stories. Whatever you want, Conan, come on the podcast.
You could even join our band. I would keep playing bass as the fourth best guitarist in the band. But, sorry, Dave.
Conan.
That's what we've got. I might have to bounce for the second half of the pod.
You can hang out and listen.
If you hear me in this second half, it's either Sean impersonating me or Steve using AI. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just
thank you, Claude.
I'll just get ChatGPT to replace you. It's no big deal.
ChatGTP. Imitate Andrew, but say slurs.
There's a YouTuber I watched named Eddie Burback who did a whole video about AI psychosis, and he convinced his AI that he was the smartest person born in whatever year he was born in. I think it was 95.
Well, here's the thing about AI is it's designed to be like sycophantic. So
yeah, it was just telling him like every single time like he asked it something, it would just praise him and give him the answers that he wanted, basically, until it randomly updated while he was in the middle of it, and then he had to go back to the previous version. But yeah, don't listen to AI if it tells you that you're amazing. Listen to us tell you that you're probably garbage.
yeah. On the next side, we have 4 songs. Queen Jane, approximately.
I feel like that was really mean.
Well, it's probably true, too.
Yeah, if you're listening to, if you can put up with this podcast, you fucking suck. Next side, we have Queen Jane, approximately. The title track, Highway 61 Revisited, Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, and the best song on the album, Desolation Row.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, now they don't have to listen to the rest. They can just turn it off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we already got Dave's opinion and Andrew's leaving, so why would we want to listen to the rest? That's fine. We already got your download.
Yep. Just if you do need to listen to something, listen to Desolation Row.
Yeah, listen to Desolation Row, and we will continue to insult you.
Speaking of downloads, we just hit over 9,000, so Dragon Ball Z Beam.
I heard we hit 67.
6-7.
6-7.
Sure. I know what
Alright.
that means. Totally.
No one knows what that means. The kids who say it don't know what it means. It means nothing.
I think the kids have even moved on from it by now.
Technical problems.
Oh, yeah.
Kick it.
Kick out the jams, motherfucker!
All right, is that it?
That's it.
All
That's
right.
it.
Let's
Next
listen to
side.
side 2.
Flip it.
Flip flop.
Flip, flop, flip each of the
Flip flip flop. So don't dot.
It was on purpose.
Yeah, cats are always trying to kill us on purpose. And we're back.
From Desolation Row.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I like that side better than the first side.
Really? Because I only liked the last song better than the first
Oh,
side.
interesting.
But the last song is like 11.
But the last song
minutes long.
and the last song is the best song he ever did, in my opinion. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, I think that one probably is the best one on the album.
I don't even mean on the album. I mean the best song he ever did.
Oh,
Yeah.
but no, as far as the rest of the album, I mean, like you said, I would call this a no skip album. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm not disparaging any other tracks, but you know, I don't know if I just like the bluesier, folksier vibe of this side more, or one thing I noticed the production was consistently clearer on all the songs, and I noticed they got recorded later than most of the songs on the first side. So I'm
There's a little
wondering,
more stripped back.
yeah,
on
I'm
this
wondering if
side.
they just got better at recording as this album went on.
Yeah.
I really like the bluesy, relaxing nature of a lot of the songs on this side.
Yeah, this side, I mean, it was only 4 songs, and like the pacing of the side was a little bit, like you said, more relaxed. Like it's like even like Desolation Row starts off relaxed, but then grows with intensity as it goes along.
Right, yeah.
But without adding any more instruments.
Yeah, but we'll get there
We'll get there.
yeah.
because I think that one deserves a deep dive discussion.
Yeah.
Because it's, like Dave says, one of my favorite Dylan songs, too.
My overall thoughts on the entire album, though, is I appreciate that it's a band playing together. One thing I think that's lost a lot in modern production is how everything is recorded separately and like to a click track now. And I feel like that stifles a lot of music. I think it makes it like kind of boring and kind of robotic and takes a lot of the human element away from it. And I like how all of these songs had moments where you could tell the musicians were just having fun.
Yeah. And nothing was perfect on the whole album. Like there were all the, like the little fuck ups you get playing live.
Yeah, like even in the first side, if you listen, like within the first couple of like bars of Ballad of a Thin Man, like when Dylan's singing, he starts laughing.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I just found endearing. Kind of the same like when Johnny Cash was laughing during Folsom Prison Blues. During which song was that?
Oh, and when he's live at Folsom Prison, when he starts laughing during
The one
He
about
laughs a
the one
few
about the guy
times.
getting executed.
yeah. When he's 25 minutes to go.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that song actually because it just ends.
yeah.
He's just like, so somebody turn me loose.
You know, I wonder with the rise of like AI music, I wonder if there's going to be a more popularity in songs that aren't perfect because we'll know that they're not recorded by a machine; they're recorded by a person.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact. and my old band's band Gong Farmer's cover of Sweet Child of Mine, the first take, like I do the guitar intro on synth, and like the first time I do it, I fuck it up a little and then get it as I keep going, and the producer and the rest of the band ask me if I want to redo it. It's like, no, I want people to know it's not a sequencer.
But I like that. I do like that because it is like a, I don't know if it's a complete like 2-track recording, like where they, where it's completely live 2-track. I'm sure it's like 4 tracks where they did do some overdubs.
Yeah.
But the way it's recorded is almost like a jazz album, where they would record in like together, and yeah, it's kind of awesome the way he would do that. And that's kind of the way Blonde on Blonde was recorded, because it was Nashville session players that he recorded with on Blonde on a Blonde. And so like a lot of the stuff was just like they didn't even know the songs before he brought it into them. So yeah, Dylan had a style that he did, definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of a jammy nature to it that that I really appreciate. It's,
I think that's,
like I said, it's a lot more interesting than the often assembly line way that a lot of people assemble songs these days, myself included. I've done that too.
I think that's why, like now, Dylan has like bootlegs coming out that of his early stuff that is, there's like different versions of the same song.
Yeah, it sounds like he's probably got a big vault full of alternative takes.
Yeah. Well, and that's also probably like the alternate takes approach too, is like why the jammy elements never seem to like go off the rails and drag too much.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, here's a good take that doesn't overstay its welcome, fade out.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the songs on this album sounded like something that you would hear like at an outdoor show, and you're just kind of relaxing and having a good time with people. And
have a couple beers.
Yeah. And it's interesting because a lot of the lyrics aren't really that vibe though. They're kind of, either political, or they tell funny stories, or they tell sad stories, or weird stories. There are a few of those too. Yeah.
Well, there's a song on Bringing It All Back Home. I forgot the name of the song, but it's on the first side, and it's like, it starts off with just Dylan and guitar, and he's like, I was riding on the Mayflower where I thought I brought some land, and then he stops and he's like just like dying laughing for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, take 2. And then it just like kicks in, and they said there was no cut there. And like everyone kicked in like they knew the song. And that was like, if you listen to that, it's like that jammy vibe. That Bringing It Back Home and Bringing It All Back Home and Highway 61 are almost like Volume 1, Volume 2. They sound very similar.
They could be a double album like Blonde on Blonde, really. Yeah.
So if you like this album, you probably listen to Bringing It All Back Home, and it's very similar.
Based on what I've heard from this album, I suspect I'd probably really like the folksy earlier Bob Dylan a lot.
Yes, you probably would.
Yeah.
You would probably, you might, from your opinions on this album so far, you might get bored with Blonde on Blonde, but like the earlier stuff more, yeah.
I don't know. It depends. Like Blonde on Blonde is very interesting. It goes very different directions. So yeah, I don't know. Dylan's one of those people, like, are one of those guys. Like, I don't feel like, even though I was gonna bring in Blonde on Blonde, I don't feel like Blonde on Blonde is actually a good entry place. I feel like his earlier stuff is kind of a better entry place.
Blonde on Blonde is like the culmination of something, and then he kind of started going in a different direction after it. And so, like, it doesn't make sense to start there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like Highway 61's not a bad entry place. I would say like some of his earlier stuff is a good entry place too. So I don't feel like this is a bad entry place.
I think this is the best entry place, honestly.
Yeah.
But because I think this is his best album. But yeah.
The next one I'm probably going to listen to is Blood on the Tracks, just because I got that out of my dad's collection.
That's also a good entry place
That's
too.
a good, really good
Like-
album. Even though it's like later Dylan because it's 75.
Yeah.
It's a really good album.
My thoughts of the two best entry places are this one and Blood on the Tracks. Honestly, yeah.
And bringing it all back home is actually a really good entry place too.
I also
'Cause
don't.
that one has like Mr. Tambourine Man,
Yeah.
which is like one of his bigger songs.
Yeah.
That's
one
my
of-
second favorite Dylan song ever too, though. But yeah, like after
like
Desolation Row.
it's like one of his most famous songs.
I'm looking at his discography right now, and man, he
has a major input.
he's got a lot of albums.
Although probably one of the reasons why I like Mr. Tambourine Man so much is I like singing it to my dog. Hey, Bobby Tambourine Dog, play a song for me. With your jingle, jingle collar, you'll come following me.
And I love Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
one's great too, yeah.
Bobby's in the basement mixing up the medicine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But
Track by track, we got Queen Jane, approximately.
Honestly, I think this is the weakest song on the record. It's fine, but there's nothing that it does that I don't feel that like a Rolling Stone didn't do better. But yeah.
So I think I liked it more than like a Rolling Stone because the production was cleaner. I could hear the bass line a lot better. The instrument intertwining I thought was a lot clearer. So I don't know. I really liked it. I also liked it sounded like he was kind of shit talking about like a socialite.
Yeah, it's
kind of like Common People by
I thought it was a good
by
song.
Pulp.
Yeah,
Well,
like I said, it's a no skip album, but this is my least favorite song on a no skip album. So,
Yeah.
and so I also feel like it's a little weak as a side opener because of that.
I thought it was a weak side opener, but I do like the song. I like it better than the other song I said was not my favorite,
Oh,
which was
Buick 6
from
yeah.
Buick 6. I can see why, but people did say that they thought this was one of his weaker songs on this album. But I always liked it because I like Queen Jane. You know,
I liked the piano on it. I thought the piano was the standout, but I don't know. Like I just feel like it didn't have the urgency of like a Rolling Stone, but was doing like a lot of things to it similar musically. So it just seemed like a lesser version of that to me. It didn't have like the bitterness of like a Rolling Stone either. So
yeah,
I don't know.
He's
Yeah.
not as angry in this one as he is in like a Rolling Stone. So I think that's like you said, not the bitterness. And
Yeah.
like,
And I think what I like about this album is the anger to it. So maybe that's why it's my least favorite. But
yeah.
I also thought it sounded like Velvet Underground, but I also wonder if that's just because it has the name Jane in it.
Sweet Jane. Okay, Lou Reed kind of sings like Dylan, not exactly, but it's like
They're pretty similar.
Yeah, he uses similar tricks.
Yeah.
Was one inspired by the other, or they just happen to be coming up around the same time?
No,
Dylan was earlier, so if anything, Dylan inspired Reed, and he did crib from him a few times, but Reed was not good at writing protest songs until like the 80s. So like all of the protest songs that he tried to do earlier on are studio outtakes, which are not very good. But yeah.
Yeah. I think Lou Reed he tried to be like Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lou Reed needed to kick heroin before he could write protest songs because he needed to get outside of himself. But yeah.
Next one, the title track, Highway 61 Revisited.
My second favorite on this side, although I don't like it as much as my like three favorite songs on the first side. So the kind of like leaning into my whole, I like the first side better as a whole, but I like the last song of the album the most out of everything Dylan has done. So, but yeah, like I like this one a lot. I thought this one was a lot of fun. I liked how fun the music was, but like how dark the subject matter is. Like it gets right into God telling Abraham to kill his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought this was a funny song. This is the one that he's credited as doing the police siren.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to mention that. I thought the siren was a nice change of pace, like sonically. Like I wasn't really like expecting it, and it sounded kind of silly. So to me, it kind of lifted the album up a little bit.
It was really like, other than when you get into like the last half of Desolation Row, the only fast song on this side too.
Yeah.
So that also might be why it stood out to me a lot, because I like fast music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun song, and like you said, I like the dark subject matter.
Yeah, like a fast song with dark humor also is like, does a lot to bring up like the slower side of the album too.
Yeah. And Highway 61 is the highway that runs by Bob Dylan's hometown in Minnesota. Isn't it?
Oh yeah, he's from Duluth, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Duluth.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from.
Yeah, he comes from like the upper Midwestern, like working class stock that ended up going to like Greenwich Village in New York to join the folk music, but like he's part of like that working class culture that went to New York to be broke and perform folk songs, which does have a romance to it.
Yeah. So he's Midwestern.
Yeah, he is Midwestern. This is Midwest culture.
Ope.
I didn't know he said that until someone pointed it out.
Yeah.
Oop.
He's got like that scrappy Midwestern working class Jewish background that, like he's not like completely inside like the mainstream Midwestern culture. He's, from like a factory town and like from a minority group too, like that isn't necessarily at home within the Midwest, but definitely comes out of it, which I think is pretty cool.
And then Tom Thumb's Blues.
This felt like it was concluding all of like the full band stuff quite a bit. It felt kind of like a hangover song to me.
Yeah, I really liked the relaxing like nature of it. It was a really cool blues jam.
Yeah. I thought it was like a good like folk blues number.
And it was a good way to make it so that the transition into going full folk made kind of sense. Because if it would have gone straight from songs that sounded like the faster songs, like if it would have gone from a Buick 6 to Desolation Row, it would have been tonal whiplash. So it was like a good like winding down point. Like
good penultimate song.
Yeah.
I also thought the production on it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like this song as a good like penultimate song before my favorite song.
And it was also good to do kind of a relaxed song before getting angry again, even if it like stripped away a lot of like the rock and roll instrumentation to get angry again.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Flexo?
But yeah, like this, like it's a good song, but I think of it more of its place on the album than as a song by itself to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course we got the grand finale, Desolation Row.
My favorite Dylan song, like hands down my favorite Dylan song, and I like a lot of his stuff.
11 minutes of awesomeness.
It didn't feel like it was 11 minutes.
That was
though.
11 minutes? I didn't even notice.
That's 11 minutes.
It was like the longest song on the album by like double the length of the other longer songs.
I wouldn't have guessed just by listening to it,
Yeah.
It's an 11-minute song, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. I thought the recording on the guitar was really clear, which I really liked, especially since it had some like really like cool southwestern style like playing, like the picking that whoever was playing that was
The lead part.
incredibly complex, which I thought was really cool.
I'm not sure who played the lead on the because it's like a lead acoustic, and then
Charlie McCoy.
Okay.
Yeah. I also liked how the instruments gradually built up, and by the end, it just sounded like huge. And it was a really good exercise in dynamics, because I think you pointed out they didn't even add any more instruments. It was just
Yeah.
the same instruments from the beginning to the end.
Rhythm acoustic guitar, lead acoustic guitar, double bass.
Yeah.
That's no drums, none of like the piano and organ that has stood out, none of like the electric guitar that has stood out so far on the album. Just like a perfect folk protest song. And I liked how the lyrics were like it was looking like it was a bunch of little vignettes about different, like little fucked up things going on in society. Like how everyone was like all alienated and isolated. And it was just looking, like at just like everything that was wrong, and then connecting it what it had in common, which was just like the discomfort and the alienation everyone was all feeling, but it was all by themselves. And it didn't provide an answer, which is kind of a way like, okay, what are we going to do about this? By not providing an answer, it lets us fill in the blanks.
Yeah. And then kind of like even the metaphor of like, because there's the part where he says like the Titanic sails at dawn, and everyone's shouting, which side are you on? It's like we're all on a sinking ship.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which side you're on because we're all fucked, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's true as much today as it was back in 1965 or 66 whenever he had recorded that song. I can't remember when this album came out. But it's like, it doesn't matter which side of politics or whatever you're on. It's like all going down. And I think like the reason he's using like folk heroes and stuff like that to kind of, it's, this is his answer to the people that are saying that he's not doing enough protest songs. Because like, I think the reason he's using them is saying like protest people, like they make about as much, like fake people make about as much impact as real people, like in that artistic world, Yeah. Like, I think, like his protest songs made about as much impact as as a folk person like Cinderella making an impact in the world,
Yeah. At the time we're recording this, the most recent episode was the No Effects episode. We talked about how we didn't see as many great protest songs out of the Trump administration than we did out of the Bush administration. I think, we talked a bit about how people kind of realize that protest songs don't really seem to change anything.
And I think I did quote that Kurt Vonnegut line about how it makes about as much impact as dropping a custard pie off of a step ladder from 3 feet up. Yeah.
I mean, I still think, it feels good to do and to listen to, but you always see like musicians, especially from that time period, talk about like, we're going to change the world with our music. And it's like, no, you're not.
No, people are going to decide you were right in retrospect after people have already died.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like entirely useless, but
No.
It's not as...
It's for building the morale of the people who are already on board with the changes, not for actually changing
exactly.
society. Yeah.
But I mean, I appreciate it. Like one of my favorite things to do is to listen to like those old Union anthems. So
Yeah.
I think it's, like you said, it's a good morale booster, and I'd still like to see more of it than we really get. But
And this was an old song when it happened, but during 2020, when there were a bunch of protesters outside the federal building in Portland protesting police brutality there, like when the police and the feds would tell them to disperse, they'd respond with "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," like directly quoting "Killing in the Name of" by Rage Against the Machine.
Nice.
So like it stuck with people, but "Killing in the Name of" did not stop police brutality in 1996.
No.
Yeah. And that's kind of, and that's, I don't think it necessarily was what he was going through for, but I think it was kind of what he was talking about, though.
Yeah.
Is that it was I think the most poignant line in it was the Titanic when the "What side are you on?" Because there was like a slogan, I guess, back in the day for politics of like the left-wing politics where it would say, "What side are you on?"
Yeah, are you with the bosses or the workers?
Yeah.
And then, like, another thing about the Titanic, too, was it was the lower classes who didn't get into lifeboats, too.
Oh, the survival rate was, like, abysmally low for the class, the third class passengers.
Yeah.
Like, if you were first class, I think you had like you had a 75% chance of surviving. If you're a third class, you had like a 25% chance of surviving.
But saying which side are you on doesn't matter necessarily when the side you actually are on because of your own conditions is being held back by the systems in place too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but and besides all that, besides what it's saying or whatever, it's just a kick-ass like song. And
Yeah. I liked how like the lead guitar playing did a lot to like build the intensity as it kept going, and the double bass did a good job at keeping it grounded. So like it felt like it was growing in intensity, but it never felt like it lost where it was.
And it had a good dynamics.
Yeah, it was entirely built up on the musicians utilizing techniques to stay quiet at first and then get louder.
Yeah, Dylan's
is that Forta EC? I can't say that.
What's that?
I was trying to use the technical term and I realized that I can't say that. So.
And the harmonica was less of like a loud blast and was more like fitting where it was in the song too.
Yeah, he waited until like right until the end to use the harmonica to like emphasize it more instead of doing it like throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, here's a section without lyrics, blow into the harmonica some that was it was used more tastefully. I do not mind like the brazen tastelessness of the harmonica throughout the earlier songs, but I do think it was utilized in a different way in this song, and that made it kick more ass.
Yeah. So yes, that Desolation Row is like one of the best Dylan songs.
It's a career highlight, honestly.
That doesn't really get enough recognition, I think.
No.
Like a lot of people like don't talk about it.
I wonder if it's because it was 9 minutes long. It was never like a single. So
well, it's just one of those ones that people just don't. I don't think maybe they don't hear it as much, or I don't know. Like, it was never a single.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was never a single. It's so long that it is sometimes just left off of greatest hits compilations to make room for it. Because, okay, we could fit these two other iconic songs, or we could have Desolation Row. And these two other iconic songs are more approachable for, like, the normies. We'll put those on. So, like, it's one of those songs that most of the people who hear it are beyond the greatest hits phase of appreciating Dylan himself.
Yeah.
It's a nice deep cut.
Yeah. But it's also like one of those songs by him, even if it's not one of his best known ones, that people do think of. Like if you say Desolation Row, and even if people don't listen to a lot of Dylan, they'll know it's a Dylan song. But if you ask people to name a Dylan song, they won't say it.
Yeah.
They'll say like All Along the Watchtower, like a Rolling Stone, or Tangled Up in Blue. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, I've been noticing, because I like to watch like react videos, and I don't know, they're fun because it's sometimes you can tell like they're bullshit or they're like they don't really like it, but they're acting like they like it.
Yeah, or they're like flattering the people who they know will watch the video to some degree.
Yeah. And some of them, the ones that they watch of Bob Dylan are It's All Right Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, which is like Dylan rap song.
yeah, it is.
So, and that's actually on Bringing It All Back Home. So it's still even one that like people don't really like even react to or whatever. So I'm sure people, if they reacted to it, be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
But then they'd be like, "Oh, I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. Grand." You know.
So yeah, as somebody that's never listened to a full Dylan album before, I would say this is probably a good place to start if you've never dug into it before.
And like Andrew said earlier, it is less depressing than Blood on the Tracks. So if you don't want to sit through an entire album about heartbreak, it's the better of the two to start with. Although I still think Blood on the Tracks is also a good starting point. Just have to be ready to be sad and to lock up the razor blades.
I love depressing music, so I have to imagine it's going to.
I think you'd enjoy it. Even some of the depressing songs are upbeat, so it's upbeat depressing.
Well, I love that. So
like Jack of Hearts, you know.
As Jake Duncan would say, it's a 1 out of 1. Or
2 out of 2.
2 out of 2. I fuck that up every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake. I fuck up your rating system.
I guess it would make just as much sense to have 1 out of 1 and 0 out of 1 as your 2 ratings. But yeah.
All right. Before we end it, I thought it'd be nice to give a shout out to a couple of listeners that have left us comments recently.
All right, let's do it.
So we got one from Bob. He said, "Enjoy listening. Really liked the episode introducing me to Witch. I have since dug into their catalog, and there's lots to like. Thanks. I plan to include one of their songs on an upcoming episode of 1000 Greatest Misses podcast, for which I'm an associate producer."
Nice.
And I listened to one of their episodes, and I really liked their concept because they really dig pretty deep. The artists that they had, I didn't think were like household names or anything. And the latest episode that they did, they played some songs that I think you guys would really like. So.
What was the name of the podcast again?
1000 Greatest Misses.
Oh, I'll check them out.
And it was basically like I think a couple of the songs that they played were like, you know, the artists that had big label backing that didn't take off, basically, for a variety of reasons. Because you know he mentioned like famous producers or like famous artists that they were connected with, but when they either went off on their own or whatever, it just didn't work out. Kind of reminded me of like the story of like Mudcrutch when we reviewed those singles. Like they recorded a bunch of singles and they just didn't take off. So I think had he not got famous, I think Mudcrutch would have worked perfectly for their show.
There was a lot of guys in the 90s that like if they had like the grunge label, they were getting signed to big labels, and then the big labels really wouldn't promote them very well. They would just like sign them, produce an album, and then they wouldn't sell, so then they would just drop them. It was kind of like that.
And then I will also shout out a comment that we got on Threads that you actually replied to, Sean.
It was a very beautiful comment. Yeah. She was a big Doctor Who fan, right?
Doctor Who. Hey, Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Hey, the TARDIS. If Steve doesn't want me to sing this, he should. Hey, find the comment. Hey, the comment. Doctor Who. Hey.
But she was more specifically a what's the dude's name?
Oh, Peter Capaldi?
A Capaldi fan.
Yeah,
Capaldi,
it sounds like she's a big fan of Peter Capaldi, which he's my favorite doctor from Doctor Who. So,
which we liked his album, and actually subsequently we listened to when we were hanging out, we listened to his other album, which I thought was even better. So
yeah,
he was a lot more experimental on that one.
I thought that both albums were great. So.
I thought Dan was a little more critical than I would have been, but he made some good points. Yeah.
Well, and she also mentioned that he's got a third one on the way, so I'm looking forward to that. Oh,
yeah. I saw that comment. I'd listen to it.
Well, I'll read what she had to say here. Just listened as I was curious as a hardcore Peter Capaldi fan what non-fans would think of Sweet Illusions. Well, I mean, I'm a big Peter Capaldi fan, but I digress. Well, you guys, I guess, aren't.
I'm not like I like him, but I wouldn't call myself a fan because I'm not that dedicated.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, fair. I didn't know he had an album until that day. So there you go.
So she said, here's my review of your review. It was interesting to hear a musician's perspective on his album. I hadn't noticed the thing with the digital drums. I would have liked it if he'd done more research on Peter, though. Peter has stated that Midnight is about how the world is a terrible, chaotic place, but when he visits his grandchildren, I think there's a typo there. It's a terribly chaotic place, but then when he visits his grandchildren, he's putting out the bins, so I guess it's kind of a nostalgic song. Peter talked about how The Best of Me is about a depressive period he went through when he was 26, and he had given up on himself, but his then girlfriend and now wife Elaine helped him through. Peter said Through the Cracks contains a diss at the BBC morning shows that he hated doing when he was in Doctor Who. Also, a slight correction, Dave, he didn't do a Welsh accent in the thick of it. It was a Scottish accent. She said, I'm glad you guys took a chance on Peter's album. He has another album coming out this year, and I believe he is premiering new songs on his upcoming tour, and she's going to go see the Edinburgh concert. Saw him 2 concerts in Glasgow last summer, and he was a lot more free with experimentation with his vocals and had lots of alternative versions of songs different from his albums. And there's videos of that on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's cool that he plays around with his songs. But
Yeah.
Just to address our interpretations of the song lyrics, I did some research. I didn't find the particular interviews that she's referring there. I listened to a couple, and he was more generalized when he was talking about his songs. And I don't know if what we were speculating on was more our interpretations.
Yeah.
Of what the songs could be about. I think part of the fun of this podcast is we speculate.
Yeah. Well, and then there's a degree too, which it's trying to find if the if you don't do too much research in advance, you kind of have to let the song speak for itself to some degree.
Yeah.
When it's an album I know, like Highway 61,
right?
I have an idea of more, but I guess I don't really I don't really go into too much detail when I'm of songs, because I like knowing what they mean to me, because when I think of Highway 61, I actually think of my cousin, because he's the one that introduced me to Bob Dylan. So I think about times driving around in my car in the late 90s, hanging out with my cousin and listening to Bob Dylan, and popping the CD in the CD player in my car and driving around. So I mean, that's it's not necessarily my so my interpretation of Peter Capaldi's lyrics were just kind of what I felt at the time.
Yeah, same. And we all grew up in the 90s when you couldn't really look this stuff up.
Oh yeah.
So
well, and
I mean, sometimes artists would give interviews or they would give insight, but I feel like back even early internet days, it wasn't easy to find information about songs, so you kind of had to rely on what you thought they were about, and I think it's fun to speculate about what they could be about.
I do like it though,
but I like that she told us some nice insights. I love that.
I appreciate you listening to the whole episode.
And I like engaging with all that too. Just kind of saying where I'm coming from. And I do like it how Sean brings an album I didn't research for, and I remembered a book I read recently that pertained to it, because I read a lot of books about the histories of activism and different movements that have been suppressed by the FBI.
It's funny because I remember when we were looking at the titles of the songs. This is one thing I remember from the episode, and we looked at Midnight, and I'm like, I remember thinking, I wonder if they mean, because in America we don't call it bin night, we call it trash day. We don't call it bins.
Garbage day.
Or garbage day, And that's the day we put out the garbage at the curb for the garbage men to pick up.
Like Dave got that reference and Sean didn't.
Yeah. Well, it happens sometimes, yeah. Maybe I watch more British television. I don't watch a ton of British television anymore.
Oh, I was quoting Troll 2.
Oh.
Where the guy just goes, garbage day, shoots the guy. while he's taking his trash out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
so we
eating
don't-
her, and now
Now
they're
they're
gonna
gonna
eat
eat
me.
me.
Oh my god!
There we go.
I remember Troll 2.
Well, and from what I remember about Midnight, it was just really it had like this really relaxing nature to it.
Yeah. It was a kind of a somber song.
I didn't think our interpretations were that far off. I mean, it wasn't 1-to-1, but I think I think we came to somewhat reasonable conclusions. I know this isn't really like a podcast where we're documenting things to perfection. Really, this is more about our reactions to the music, and sometimes me especially who likes to throw in just fun facts, I guess. I like to sit there and read the Wikipedia article for everybody.
I did listen to the episode recently, and I liked the second side better than the first side. Because I can tell by my reaction to it, I like the second side of the album better than the first side.
Of
and
Peter's?
I think, what's
Yeah,
that?
of
Peter
yeah.
Capaldi. And I could tell it was because on the first side, he had more E drums, and then on the second side, he had more it seemed like he had a session drummer on it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I suspect his third one, he's probably going to be working with his band that he's gotten together to tour. At least I hope so. I'm not basing that on anything. So if that's the case, it'll probably be his best album, just because I suspect he seems like open to collaboration and all that stuff. And I mean, it sounds like he's playing around with the songs that he's already recorded. So it sounds like he's not even quite done yet. So I'm hoping for a live release from him at some point.
That'd be cool.
I do hope he records a song with Craig Ferguson, though.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Craig Ferguson's interested in doing that kind of thing at all anymore. But
Yeah, I wonder when's the last time Craig Ferguson got behind a drum kit. But I mean,
I don't know,
Peter
yeah.
Capaldi, I mean, he started back up too. So
I do remember once I saw a performance by The Damned on Craig Ferguson. He was talking about how when he was a teenager, he bought this single called Neat, 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 and he was like, oh, what's this punk rock thing they're talking about? Ooh, it sounds like people fighting.
You know what I hope he records, Dave?
What?
Doctor Who.
Hey, the TARDIS.
All right.
all right.
Thank you, everyone, for commenting.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't make fun of you. We like the comments.
Well, we might make fun of some of you, but I thought both those comments were great, and I was glad to hear from both of them. So.
Both those comments were really thoughtful.
Yeah.
And
Because we've gotten some unthoughtful comments.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make fun of you if we think they're unthoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if it's just trying to correct strangers on the internet. But yeah,
I mean, both of them listened to full episodes.
they
with
listened
us,
to full
so,
episodes, and they had interesting thoughts. And like I appreciated the one that the review of our review that didn't quite agree with where we were going with it, but like was like left a thoughtful comment and engaged with it. But then like when people will like go in and like fact check us on something, it's like, oh, did you listen to what I said? Because I said the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten a
Well,
few.
the one that was like, oh, I don't think you listen to the Clash much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Dave famously doesn't listen to the Clash. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we'll occasionally get some corrections. They're just like, "What planet are you from? Like, what universe are you from? Where like you think this is incorrect, or you think like what he said was wrong?" I mean.
It's often tone policing in that case too, though. Like they don't like it if we said something that comes across as flippant because it's friends hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like one time you said that Jones was technically a better singer than
Joe.
Than
Yeah.
Joe. But you said you preferred Joe.
Yeah.
And they still bitched you out for that.
Yeah, that was funny though. Yeah.
Well, I like the ones that were like getting mad because we were making fun of Kiss. That was my favorite.
Those ones are pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I don't get mad about that. I just think that's funny. They can comment all they want. Actually, I encourage that because fuck Kiss.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro. Come
Yeah,
at me.
It's pretty hilarious when they can't handle that. You don't think that's the baddest rock and roll record you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we said like the Ace Frehley album was corny, and they're like, I don't know how that's corny, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Have you listened to this album?
I mean, I like Kiss. They're fucking corny. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, that's part of the appeal for me. So,
sorry you're dead, Ace, but your album sucked. Sorry.
Well, one thing that I think is funny is like whenever, like if someone says, you know, like I don't think rap should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's like whatever. I don't agree with you. I like rap, and I think it's kind of in the same genre, but you know, like it's an agree to disagree thing. But like if Gene Simmons says that he doesn't think rap should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's like, fuck you. Now I have a strong opinion about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and rap should be in there definitely. And Kiss should be replaced by Outkast in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Fuck Kiss.
Yeah.
I think we should start including rap in the Country Music Hall of Fame, which I visited.
Yeah.
And I got to see Les Paul's The Log guitar in person, so that was cool.
Although, like,
that's cool.
Like the early like 20 teens rap country like Florida Georgia line shit. That's some of the worst music I've ever heard.
Yeah, you just
that fucking
reminded
sucked.
me of something.
Yeah.
You reminded me that existed, and I hate you now, Dave.
Yeah.
On that note,
fuck
note, you, Dave.
Yeah. On that.
So,
on that note, comment on our stuff. Yeah. We will engage with you if you are not an asshole, and then we'll make fun of you in person if you are an asshole.
Now, before we sign out, we're in a band called The Alliterates, and check the description, and you can listen to songs that we put out. We got some bootlegs that sound, pretty good.
Yeah.
But we also put out a song on a compilation for Control Shift Music where we did The House Came Crashing Down, and it's the best thing I've ever produced.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to when we finally put out our full length that we keep putting off.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the songs are still gestating to some degree, even though a couple of them are a few years old. But they're coming together nicely, and then we'll decide which version is the definitive version. Put out the album, and then they'll still keep evolving. But hey,
yeah, and we've added a member too. So
yeah, quintet.
Yeah, we slowly approaching Slipknot territory. We got to hire somebody to play keg. We need a DJ.
I do think
another bass player. I think we could add another bass player.
I do think we should
You're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I do think we should overdub that cajon into some of our songs alongside the drums.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
I think it would sound good.
Or do it instead of the drums on Fell by the Pines, even maybe.
Yeah. So
you would still play it, Steve. We're not replacing you.
Don't tell him where he's being replaced.
Yeah.
You can't replace me. I'm irreplaceable.
You are irreplaceable, but yeah.
So yeah, if you want to support that, you can check out our stuff in the description. Buy it on Bandcamp. Stream it in the background over and over again. I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's our pluggables. And this was side 1. Side B.
Speaking of pluggables, my wife will be here next week.
Hi-yo! Catch you on the flip side. Yeah. No, I do think that...
Side 1, Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Head on over to killrockmusic.com, that's KILRAVOCK music.com, to check out our post-punk band, The Alliterates, and Steve's solo project, Killrock. You can also check out Steve and Dave's experimental project, Lucid Fugue, where the theme song comes from, at lucidfugue.bandcamp.com. You can also check out Dave's old band, Gong Farmer, at gongfarmer.bandcamp.com, spelled GONGFERMER. MOUR. You can find each of us on various social media platforms. Check out the description for more information. Thanks.
Lick my love pump.
This music really makes me hate the centralized bank.
Sunday morning.
All hail to Sean.
All hell to Shaw.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Doctor Who. Hey, the TARDIS.
What the hell was that?
What the hell is that?
What the fuck was that?
Puskadu is German, yeah. Not really.
No, they're from Minnesota.
Mm,
1, 2, X, you.
How does it feel?